Hello everyone. First of all, thanks for joining this session and thanks to Venkatesh and all the Middle East Microsoft user group for arranging this session. It's really appreciated in the weekend. We are somewhere and I'm taking the session from India and this session is from Middle East. So it's very much privileged to have this Microsoft group and arranging the session from there. So without further delay, let me share my screen and then we will start with the introduction of the session. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, Ramit, we can see.
We can see.
Okay. So our agenda. So okay, just a minute. So today we will be talking about top 10 features over the years. It's not about 10 or 31, 10 or 32. What we have thought of, whenever the new version comes, and we always discuss with that version. But what in this session, what we have decided from last 1.5 years, what has been changes and main features which may be a game changer, or in previous version of the AX, or in Dynamics that was not there, and many users was saying that when we will be getting this kind of features. So yeah, I mean these 10 features we will be sharing in this session. So in today's, it's not moving. Just a minute. So here, along with me, Archit will be speaking in this session. So I will be talking about 5 features, and Archit will be taking care of the 5 features, which will be most more about the 5 and 5 finance and HCM kind of thing. And here you can see my favorite Steve Jobs. The most precious thing that we will have with us is a time. Thanks for giving your time, and definitely we will learn something new today. So today our agenda will be like this. So we'll be talking about the 10 features as I have mentioned. One is financial tags, and then vendor bank account modification workflow, payment process automation, Forex posting profile, ledger settlement automation, using subscription billing module for deferral transactions, custom level print, bank transaction summary, and subscription billing integration with project accounting. And the last, update description on posted transaction. So without further delay, we will talk about on the features. However, I would like to give a small introduction about Archit. He will be also talking on this feature. So Archit, over to you.
Yeah, hello everyone, and I really want to thank you all to take your time on the weekend and attend this session. And thanks to the community as well, who has given the opportunity to speak on these topics. So I am Archit Goyal. I live in New Delhi, India. I have over 5 years of experience in Dynamics 365. I'm working currently in Unified Dots as a senior functional consultant. And we will be starting with this session. And over to you, Ramit.
Great. Thanks, Archit.
Yeah.
So let me give a small introduction about myself. So I'm Ramit. I'm from India. I'm currently working from Bangalore. So currently working from a client in implementation project. So I'm a Microsoft MVP. I was awarded as an MVP award on December 2022. And I'm currently working with ENY. So let me share my screen once again. So first, we will be talking about the financial tax. So since we are discussing about the demos and all, however, I would like to give you a case study or use cases about this financial tax. So financial tax is available in feature management from 10.31 or 10.32. And here you will get financial tax. You need to enable it. So before I talk about this in session, so like I mentioned, I will talk about the use cases. Say suppose you are working on an organization and they are asking that in MIS, as part of MIS reporting, they want to have a lot of data. Like these expenses booked for which employee, these expenses we booked for which vehicle. So they want to have this kind of tagging in the transactions, and later on they want to fetch the data from the system. However, this kind of requirement when we say, and we always talk about the financial dimensions. And on the flip side also, we know the limitation that financial dimension, if we have in the system more than 10, 20, this will impact our performance. So having this financial tag, we don't need any financial dimension to be created as employee, vehicle, or whatever the financial tag the MIS team wants or the company wants. By the financial tag, we can have a tagging in the dimension at the time of entry, so that at the month end or the quarter end or the periodic end, transaction can be fetched from the system and they can see the dimensions or financial tags in a separate column in the transaction. So I will show you where. So I have enabled this feature. In general ledger, I will be able to see the financial tag options, which is under chart of accounts. There is another option called financial tags. I will go to the financial tags. So before I go create something here, I will need to go to general ledger parameters, and here in the financial tags, you will see a financial tag segment delimiter. It is very similar to the financial dimension chart of account delimiter, where we select the delimiter. Similarly, financial tag also need a delimiter. So this I have selected as a hyphen, and then I will go to the financial tag master. So here we can create multiple financial tags. The limitation is 20 on legal entity, and this financial tag is a legal entity specific. If I go to another legal entity, this financial tag won't be there. So this is a good thing that one legal entity can have their set of financial tags, and another legal entity can have another set of financial tags. So this financial tag I can create new. I already created 2, vehicle and employee. However, for this demo, I will show you the possibility. So while I'm creating the financial tag, I will have 3 options like text. Text means I will create the financial tag that will be available as a tag in the transaction. However, I won't get any drop down value. I can write anything. This is one option. I can have list. List means it's very similar to the financial dimension, is a standard dimension. When I select list, the agreement, bank account names, business unit standard financial tags will come. And when I select custom list, the custom list is very similar to the financial dimension, custom financial dimension. So like the same thing I have created here, like vehicle and employee. I will create, say, suppose another car maybe. Okay. And once I, create this, I need to click on activate. And then I need to select this car, and then I will select this option, and I will click on activate or deactivate. So this financial tags is also available. You can activate it, you can deactivate it. So you need to, if you want to have this in transaction, you must activate this option. This setup is done. Now I will go to tag values because I have created a dimension. I will create, say, suppose Mahindra. Okay. I will create Maruti. Okay. I will create. Oh, what happened? Some technical issues there. Am I still audible, right?
Yes, Ramit.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Just a minute. Let it refresh. Okay, I think some internet issues were there, the system or server issues.
No worries,
Okay.
Ramit. It always happens to us as well.
Yes. Thank you. So here I can create this. So Mahindra I have created. Suppose Maruti. I'll create say Tata. Okay. So this is done. And on the other financial dimension tag, I have created vehicle, and I will show you the vehicle number which I have created. Here also I have created employees as a custom list. Here employee number I have created. So my expectation that in the transaction, I will have this financial tag and I will select this financial tag when I select the entry or create the entries in the system. Okay. And then I will select, say, suppose any journal from here. I will go to lines. And here I will have this main account, which I or user select as a dimension, main account and all. Similarly, I will have another option. Okay, blank is not allowed in dimension. Okay, I will select one. Similarly, I will have another option called financial tags at the time of posting this entry. This is the new thing which Microsoft has, introduced in the new versions. So this will help users to select a tag, like I mentioned, similar to financial dimension, but that is not a financial dimension. So I will select the vehicle. I will select the vehicle details from here. It will come as a drop down. Employee, I will select from here. Car, I will select, say, suppose Mahindra, and it's done. I will now select entries from here. Okay, say bank maybe. Here, business unit, business unit. Okay, now I will post this entry. It is posted. Now, if I want to see the vouchers, you will notice the vouchers will contain this financial tag as a vehicle, as an employee, as a car. So what does it mean? Whenever the MIS team requires this data, they can pull the spool from the system and they can do the reporting. So this is what the financial tag means, and financial tag has been introduced in the system. By having this, we can have many possibilities that we can decrease the requirement for financial dimensions, but financial dimension will still be there. There is a rumor and there is a misconception the financial dimension will be replaced by financial tag, but that is not the case. Financial dimension will still be there, but as an additional, where we can decrease the requirement of financial dimension. Say suppose a lot of companies ask for 10, 15, 20 dimensions to create in the system for just for tagging. So this financial tag will help them to maintain their MIS, and they can have the better performance without having those as a dimensions. So these financial dimensions, now the question is, this financial tag is available to up to which level? So I would like to add that this financial tag is only available till the voucher transactions. There are, Microsoft is working to have this in analytics, Power BI, but as of now, only this financial tag is available till the voucher transactions. It means if there is a requirement to create any management reporter to have these dimensions, you won't be able to do that. So that is the part of, you need to decide whether your requirement is to have this dimension in management report or on a report, standard report. The answer is no. As of now, Microsoft has no plan to introduce in management report or any other reports. So as of now, this financial tag is available till per voucher transaction. Another thing, I would like to add that this financial tag, which when this was introduced, this was only available to general ledger, general ledger entries or general journal. However, as part of 2032, 2033, 2034 version, Microsoft has introduced this in accounts payable payment journal. Many other journals like periodic journal, allocation journal, this financial tag will be available. This is all about one scenario which I wanted to talk about. That this financial tag will be a very useful feature for the industry where this kind of requirement comes up. Okay. Now our second feature is update description and posted transaction. So update description and posted transaction means as of now, whenever any say suppose a user, posting some purchase order invoices, free text invoices, free text invoices, we always see some default dimensions comes, or something like, say suppose some dimension has been posted, or sorry, some transaction have been posted, but those are incorrect. So as a result, when there is a genuine requirement for audit cases, for internal audit, external audit, auditor always ask why these transaction have been posted with this description, or why there is no description. So as a result, Microsoft has introduced a feature called internal data, internal data edit feature. So I don't recall the exact name of the feature, but I will show you. It is available in the feature management. So you need to enable it. Allow edits on internal data on general ledger vouchers. So not only this helps to change the description on the posted transactions, it also helps to change the financial tags as well in the posted transactions. I will show you. So I've enabled that feature. I will go to voucher transactions now. I will click OK. Okay. And there I see this description are vendor invoices, vendor product receipt. So I want to change this due to some reasons. Okay. It's not only I will select one by one, I can also select multiple vouchers. Okay. Say suppose this 4 or 5 vouchers I need to select, and I need to change the description. What I will do, I will select those multiple vouchers and I will click. You will have an option called edit voucher. Here you can have two options. One is edit internal voucher data. Another is audit trial of voucher edits. This two means you can edit it. Also, after editing, if someone wants to see the change audit log of this, you can always see these audit logs. So what it helps basically, say suppose is always Microsoft has been saying us that in posted transaction, if that is posted, do not change anything. However, at the other hand, Microsoft has introduced this feature. So due to the data security issue, it always auditor can ask anytime that what you have changed and who has changed it. So this audit trail of the voucher edits would help you who has changed, what has been changed, and what was previous value. Okay. So what I will do, I will click on edit internal voucher data. Okay. Now I will see these 4 vouchers I have selected, and this 4 voucher has come here. So here I can have current description and new description. I can write like this. Okay. However, I do not want to waste time like this. I want to select all, and I will select bulk update selected records. Here I will have two options. Either description I need to change, or vehicle employee cars. That I mentioned earlier, that not only description, I can also change financial tags in this voucher by enabling this feature. So now I will change the description. So suppose new value is like new 123. I will update. You see, it's updated automatically in bulk. Similarly, if I want to change the financial tags in bulk, I'll select all. I will select from here vehicle, say vehicle data. So this will change like this in one go. So this is another good feature Microsoft has introduced without breaking the posting, because I think you can relate it at any or maximum in implementation. You always sometimes get a requirement from client that I want to change something in the posted transaction. As a result, as an experienced implementer, partner, that we always suggest that Microsoft does not recommend it. It always possible to change it by coding or custom coding, but this is something dangerous. We avoid doing this. So till now, the genuine requirement is that okay, we are not changing the posting, but we can change the description, which will not impact any financial data. Still, if auditor asks, they can always see the audit trail from here. They can show that to auditor that only the description and financial tag has been changed. Okay. This is another feature I wanted to show you in the system. Next, let's see what we have in the next. The next is payment process automation. Okay. This payment process automation is not a new feature. It has been introduced, I think, 1 year back from the system. or 1 year back from now, and Microsoft, and this is, it's very much enhancement on the current automation feature which is available in the system. So before I talk about the process automation of payment, I would like to talk about the process automation framework. So this process automation framework is basically helps to, say suppose there is a schedule work is done by one employee. One employee has a very regular activity who comes in a payment run day. They make some filter in the payment and they run the payment, and the payment proposal has been created. That's created in the system, and that's basically a straightforward robotic works. And this kind of work Microsoft is trying to automate in the system in ERP itself. So as a result, Microsoft will introduce one payment process automation, which will help us to select the criteria, and that will create the payment journal itself. That will create the payment proposal from the system. Before I talk about this payment proposal, I will talk about the problem statement here. Say suppose I'm running a payment run, a vendor payment run on each and every Thursday or Wednesday, and I know which filter I need to give on that day. I will not have any check on that. What I will do, I will select the payment date, form date, to date. I will select the vendor group, everything. Then I will click OK, and all the payment proposal is there. I mean, all the pending due invoices till that day, it will come, and I will select OK, and it is done. This is a robotic works. I don't need to use my brain in this, because I know the filters, I know the vendor groups which I need to select. So this activity can be done automatically by the system by the payment process automation. How? Now let's see the demo, small demo. I will go to this, sorry. And this payment process automation is basically feature management from where we can enable this feature. And after that, this payment payment automation will be enabled. So here, this framework will look like this. I have created one payment proposal. I will create another one for you. So and here you will see the scheduled date, when I have scheduled it and which day system will go and do the activity on behalf of the user. Let's see how to create it. I will click here, create new process automation. I will click on schedule type. And here you see vendor payment proposal. I will select the employee. I will create the series. So now I will give, say, suppose foreign payments. I can write description here, but not mandatory. I will select a scheduled time. Say suppose 12 a.m. Start date maybe from tomorrow. And end date, I don't like to, I don't want to have a end date here. It will be a continuous activity. I can schedule here, repeat weekly, monthly once. I can select every weekday as well. I can have some error alerts. Then once done, I will click new. Sorry, next. Okay, schedule type must be filled in. Sorry, schedule time. And then this form will come. Here is very important part. What is the important thing here? Like I mentioned, I need to give the instruction to the system based on which parameter this payment proposal will run. So I will select the journal name, and there I will select the criteria the same way I select at the time of creating the payment proposal. I can have defined date criteria. I can define everything what I have at the time of creating the payment proposal. I can have it here. So I can say suppose INR or USD. I can also say foreign. Okay. And then I can select bank account as well, from which bank account this payment will be, payment line will be created. Say this one. I have selected this bank account. Okay. Other filter also I can give. I can select filter the same way I do while creating the payment proposal. Then I can click finish. Okay. So what system will do? System will create a series of schedule. Like you see, every day you will see this has been scheduled in the system. So what system will do? System will wait for the scheduled time which I have given in the system at the time of creating this series. System will wait at the same time. When the scheduled time comes every day or your scheduled date, it will run the payment proposal for you based on your criteria given at the time of automation you created. Then here it will automatically create the journal based on your criteria. So that means what it resulting is there was a robotic process which user or the company has identified, and that is choking the bandwidth of the user. But user does not need to have any brain to use any brain. He just come or she just comes and run the payment proposal based on the selected criteria, and the payment journal creates. After that, say suppose automatic posting you can do also by the standard feature, or you can generate a payment from here as well. So that is all about the payment process automation available in the system. That is very underrated feature. This helps in the real world that I have seen. We were discussing with Archit as well. So there, say suppose there is a process that expense management you are using, and sorry, okay, everything is fine, right, Venkatesh?
Yes, Ramit, all good.
Sorry, I got a sound, that's why. Okay, so we were discussing that where this can fit, and we have identified some of the features like when there is a process called expense management, travel requisition. What the company does, they have a batch process, and whatever the approved employee expenses on the same day, Friday or Thursday, they run the batch and payment gets cleared from the bank. So this will be, and that is a pure case study or use cases for this scenario. You can have this and you can sell this feature, or if you are implementing, you can give some demo, or you can identify which area it will improve to have this kind of automation. Okay, so this is all about the vendor payment automation. Next is a very important and very useful feature Microsoft has introduced, which is Forex posting profile, foreign currency posting profile. As of now, when we are doing pre-sales, when we are doing giving demo, taking requirement, we always say that in the ledger setup, at the time of foreign currency evaluation, we have an option called this posting for accounts for currency evaluation. There we define the realization gain account, realization loss account, unrealized gain account, unrealized loss account. But there are cases where no, your company or where you are implementing, the company can be spread across the world. They can have multi currencies. They can have multi vendor groups. So as a requirement, the use case study, suppose your customer says, or your partner or client says that they want to have different realization gain loss account per vendor group or per vendor or per currency. As of now, you know this possibility was not in there in the system. From 30 series, 31, 32, this feature has been available in the system. Microsoft has introduced it. For this, we don't need to we don't need to say, suppose we need to enable any feature from the feature management. It is available by default from the system. So where it is there? It is there in general ledger under currencies. We will see currency revaluation posting profile. Here you will notice general ledger, accounts payable, account receivable, and bank, where this foreign currency revaluation takes place, right? So for general ledger, we can have unrealized gain, unrealized loss. Let's see what we have as a possibility. So better we will see this accounts payable so that we can see in one go unrealized gain, unrealized loss, realized gain, and realized loss. So here if I create new, I will have one combination called currency. You can have one combination with one currency. Okay. You can have this currency with table with vendor. Okay. Or if you have requirement, you can have this currency with group of vendors. And then you can define the ledger account here. Suppose I will select, say I will select any random ledger accounts. Again, for this unrealized gain itself, I can create multiple combination. Okay, I need to select group. Okay, for this accounts payable module itself, I can have multiple combination. To give a perfect example, it's kind of, say suppose trade agreement we select, this kind of posting profile we select, site based on some combination, the main account will be coming to the picture. Suppose whenever we are running this foreign currency revaluation, based on this combination, this main account will be coming into the picture, while if it is unrealized gain, if it is unrealized loss. This is all about the foreign currency revaluation posting profile. In the interest of time, I will not be able to run and show you the difference between these. However, this posting profile is very much, it's very similar to the trade agreement, purchase agreement, all the agreement which we have in the system. Based on some combination, we can have the posting profile in the system. Similarly, same thing you will see in accounts receivable, bank, and general ledger. However, you can ask one question, that what if I don't have this requirement? Will my previous ledger setup will work? The answer is yes. However, if you are configuring here something, system will give priority to this posting profile. If you don't have anything, doesn't matter, your ledger setup will still work. However, if you have something here, it will give the priority from the posting profile. But it does not mean that you need to have only one. Say suppose one combination is a requirement, another combination you still need to have the same thing from the ledger setup. That is also possible. What system will do? System will find the combination from here. If it is not there, then it will take from the ledger setup configuration. Another thing we have in the currency setup, which is currency revaluation accounts, which is very similar, which we have seen as of now in the currency posting profile. Here also we can configure based on the currency. Here we don't have any combination, but straight away, if it is, suppose we are revaluating the UAE dirham, then I can have main account separately, different set of main account. If I have Afghani, then I can have different set of main account for foreign currency revaluation. Okay, if I have any other currency, I can have different set of accounts. So now the question gets bigger, it gets complex, right? So I have three setup: foreign currency devaluation posting profile, currency devaluation accounts, and my ledger setup, which is flat setup. So the answer is, it always will take from priority is, will give the priority on posting profile. If it does not have anything, it will give the second priority to currency revaluation accounts. If it does not find this combination here, it will take from the ledger setup. So this is as simple as that. This is a priority wise Microsoft has given, but that thing is mandatory here. So everything you can use it. You can use your one setup in currency devaluation posting profile, one setup in currency devaluation account, and one setup in currency devaluation ledger setup. Okay, this is all about the foreign currency devaluation posting profile. And I have another good feature, which is my last feature for the day. Then after that, Archit will take us. So Venki, I think we need to extend some at least for 3:45 Indian time. Otherwise, other 5 features will not be completed. That's a heads up. So
No worries, that's fine.
ledger settlement automation. I will give you the concept and problem statement first. Under this general ledger, we have an option called periodic task ledger settlement. Here, what we need to do, I need to come here, select ledger, display transactions, and then I need to settle it based on the combination manually. And this is a very hectic job. It's a very pathetic job. I have seen many customers asking for this automation. They don't want to do this manually when they know that the amount will match and it will auto settle. So last year also I remember we had to do some automation, custom automation to do this settlement based on some combination. But luckily this year Microsoft introduced this automation feature is ledger settlement. So for that, it's very simple. We have a similar framework like we have seen the payment process automation in vendor payment proposal. A similar thing we have in the general ledger settlement automation. Here we have this option called this process automation under ledger setup. The same thing, the same framework you will notice here as well. What we have seen in payment process automation, the same automation framework is available in ledger settlement. So here what you need to do, I need to create the new process automation, select schedule type. I will select ledger settlement. I will select the company. I will select the series. And here the same thing, say suppose ledger automation. And I will give some, say, schedule date, some series date, and I will click next. Here I will have multiple matching criteria. I will say, suppose I need to create this for a couple of main accounts, and for a couple of main accounts, that automation will work, because for some main accounts, I still or your organization or part or client still need to do some manual, manual settlement, because there is some logic record which cannot be automated in system. That is also possible. You can have partial some sort of accounts where you don't need to use your brain. Okay, that is a scheduled job, robotics job. So here I have added these accounts. I have option called date matching criteria. I can give a allowed date difference. So suppose if I give 0, and system will not match anything which is above the tolerance, which is 0. If I give 1, it will still, system will think, okay, I have same amount, I have same ledger account, I have one debit posted today, one debit posted yesterday. That means I have tolerance limit 1 day. It will system will see the tolerance and it will auto settle. And here I have option called posting type. I have option called financial dimensions. I have option called financial tax. What it means is, which when I'm enabling it, this I am telling the system that if posting type, say a ledger account is matching with amount, matching with debt tolerance, but the posting type is not matching. Posting type means your vendor balance, your other posting type which is different. That means if I'm asking system that, okay, do not match, if it is not matching the posting type, system will not match. If I don't want to have it, then system will match anything regardless of posting type. If it is matching with the date, it's matching with the ledger dimension. If it is matching with amount, then it will auto match and settle it. I can have financial dimension matching. Here also I can select partial financial dimension. Suppose I only want to match automatically only with the cost center. So I'm telling system that if your ledger account, if your cost center is matching with same amount, date, and other criteria, then system should and must auto match. If even there is other dimension mismatching, system will not bother. So by this way, I can have this. Similarly, I can have this financial tag also as a matching criteria. Very similar to financial dimension, we have seen the similar thing. If it is matching with my financial tag, it is also possible to have a matching criteria. Okay, these are all possibilities which you need to take care at the time of requirement discussion, at the time of implementing this auto settlement. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't discuss, then automatically some or not required dimension or not required data will be matched. So this is a very sensitive settlement work area which you need to work upon with your client. After that, I will click finish. And my series has been created. And what system will do is every day system will go ahead and check the criteria here and will auto match. By this way, we can decrease a lot of and we can improve the productivity of any organization users. This kind of regular activity or schedule activity can be nullified from the system if we use this feature, automation features in Dynamics. Okay. So I will show you some of the settled transaction which I have done previously as a automation. So you see, these are the settlement which has been done by the system automatically. I did not settle it. System has just checked that criteria on the scheduled date and time. It has auto matched with the dimensions and with the matching criteria. Okay, this is all about the ledger settlement automation feature in Dynamics. Okay. So now it's time for Archit to show the magic in the system. Right? For me, it's done. I have shared the 5 features. Now it's Archit who will talk about new features from the system. Over to Archit.
Thank you so much, Ramit. Archit, just a second. Before that, I would like to give a small intro about myself as well as the community here. And I really appreciate Ramit's time. And congratulations, Ramit, for getting the MVP and for accepting our invite and being part of this session. And it's our privilege to host you here. And I know you are very busy, and taking the time out of the weekend and spending some time for community is always what I learn from you. And the number of sessions you do is always something which I really appreciate, and I would like to learn from you how you manage that as well. And thank you so much, Ramit, as well as Archit. And we started this community from some time, and we have spent some beautiful efforts. And I would like to thank on this stage Mr. Umesh and Rachit, who are also part of this admin center. We have taken initiative, and all of them has put some personal effort to make this community up and running. And Rachit is the mastermind behind this, and he has developed all the power apps. You would have received the emails automatically once you register the session, so that we have built it through power apps itself. So that's the he couldn't join to the session, but he's there with us. And we also have Umesh here. Umesh would like to give a small intro to the team.
Thank you, Venkatesh. So, hi, Ramit and Ajit. Great privilege to have you guys. So, this is Umesh, very well. So, when the idea came in for Middle East, we jump started to get the help done to Venkatesh in any ways. And that's it. I think to the interest of the time, I will hand over session to Venkat again. Thank you very much.
Umesh, you are in Sydney now?
Yeah, I recently moved to Sydney.
Yeah, good.
Umesh from Sydney, you are from India, and I'm doing it from Dubai. So all the
Complete different
globe
time
is here.
zones.
Yeah, I think users are also from different time zones. Over to you, Archit. Uh,
Yeah, thank you, Umesh, thank you, Venkatesh, and thank you everyone for the opportunity. And thank you, Ramit. That was a great session. Now let me take it over. Let's share my screen. So can you see my screen?
yes, Archit, we can see you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's great. So now the next topic would be using subscription billing module for deferral transaction. So subscription billing module we have got from Microsoft, I think the half year ago or maybe 8-9 months. And this module is very vast module. Obviously, we cannot discuss this module completely in one session. So there is one type of transaction I'm going to explain you here, which is the deferral transaction. And the deferral transaction, I'm not going into the revenue side. I'm only going into expense side. So which is your prepaid expenses, prepaid insurance, prepaid taxes. Okay, so these type of transaction, Microsoft earlier has given one functionality which is called accrual scheme, but lot of things are there that are missing with that functionality. Like you cannot have accrual scheme on the purchase order, or accrual scheme is posted instantly when you are doing the transaction. All the transactions are posted in future period, which client don't want usually. They want to have control, and they want to have periodic entries as and when periods are open. Okay, so how you can use subscription billing module to cater this requirement? I'm going to show you one transaction and the setups behind this. Okay, so let me dive into the system. Yeah, so first of all, to access subscription billing module, you should have a feature enabled for subscription billing. So let me show you first the feature. Yeah, so these are the subscription billing features. You need to enable this, and to enable this, you need to turn off the revenue recognition, because that is going to be deprecated sooner, and the subscription billing will be used further. And you need to also enable this revenue and expense deferral feature. So once these features are enabled, you are good to go, and you can set up your entries for prepaid expenses and prepaid insurance taxes. Let me show you the setup quickly. So in the subscription billing module, we have a menu item called deferral defaults. Okay, so you need to set up some accounts and templates here. Now you can see it can be applicable on sale order, purchasing, general order. There are many things. So we are not going to talk about each and everything. We are just going to stick to our scenario. So in deferral expenses, I have created one category called insurance. Okay, and this category you can also place it on item also. If I add a line here, So all option is also available. Group of item also, you can have a item combination as well, and as well as category combination. So in this scenario, we are going to take insurance category, and I have associated a insurance expense account against it. Okay, so this is my recognition account where which will be recognized after prepaid expenses posted. Okay, then one template I have also configured, which is a straight line template. That means within 12 months on the entry posting, it will be allocated, and in 12 months, it will be recognized. So let me go in and show you. So this is the setup for the 12-month deferral template, and the frequency is monthly, and we need to recognize in the 12 periods. Okay, so once that is done, there is another optional setup, and you can do it like directly on purchase order. You can have a deferral option also, or you can just have the item deferral by default. So what will happen if I have entered insurance here? So as and when on purchase order I select the insurance category, automatically deferral will be applicable. Okay, so to do that, you need to set up that. Otherwise, it is purely optional. Okay, now let's go to the purchase order, and let me show you how it will work. So I've selected the vendor, warehouse. Let's click OK. On the line level, I will select the insurance. Quantity 1, unit EA, and the price is, let's say, $1,200 US. Okay, now I will save it. Let's confirm. Now I have already set up the prepaid expense ledger against the insurance in the item posting setup. So I have not shown you that, but yeah, just for information I am sharing with you. Now let me create the invoice. Let's update match status. Now, here on the line, there is one additional column that has been added after having a subscription billing enabled from the feature management, which is deferred. So, on this is the indicator whether this line, this invoice is going to be deferred or not. This insurance category. So, if it is no, then of course it will not happen. If it is yes, then it is already enabled. Okay. So, like if you want to change anything on deferral part, there is option. You can view the distribution, and you can see the deferrals option here. So if you want to turn off the deferred checkbox, then you can turn off. And if you want to change the template, maybe it is not 12 month, now you want only 3 month template, so you can select the template from here as well. And a deferral start date. So deferral start date may be something else for you, like you want to start from the month in which invoice is posted, the starting of the month. Okay, so you can enter 1st of May here. Okay, and then press OK. Now I'll post this invoice, and we'll see what will happen when I will post this invoice. Okay, so the invoice is posted. Now let me create a duplicate tab, and we'll go to deferral schedule and see what has happened at the background. So in all deferral schedule, a deferral schedule is created. You can see the invoice number 003, which I have entered. And if I go inside, so you can see that 12 months deferral is there. So I have input 1200 amount. So 100 amount each is allocated between the 12 month. Now you have option to manually do on the month end, or you can also process through a batch job and automatically post the journal. So I will show you recognize this batch processing. Select a journal name. Okay, just a second. I think it doesn't happen. Let me go again. Yeah, I should use this form. I have used wrong form here. Okay, I will select the transaction date here and the cutoff date. So transaction date is the date on which you want to post this recognition journal, and the cutoff date is the date till which you want to take the recognition journal. Okay, then in record to include, you can enter the default schedule number, or you can filter by that. The journal number is automatically coming from the parameter which you have entered. Okay, now we will review the transaction. So you can see there are different schedules also created, but our schedule is the third one. Okay, so 100 US dollar is coming, and we can go ahead and process these transactions. So this is a month-end activity which you can do, and you can use to post the accrual entries without using the accrual scheme transactions. There are some challenges with accrual scheme, and that's why it is very useful to use this feature. Okay, so this was it from my side of my for this feature. Now let's move on to the second feature. Okay, so the another very interesting feature is the custom label print. It is a very new feature. It's in version 33 only, and it can be used in the industry where you want to print some labels on your maybe your fixed asset, or uh, uh, maybe your packaging labels can be printed. Packaging labels can be printed from the warehouse setup also. There are options given, but this is a custom label print which is available on each and every form of the Dynamics 365, whether it is the accounts payable module, vendor form, customer form, bank form, fixed asset form, and it is very highly configurable. Okay, so I will show you how it works. Of course, I don't have printer, so I cannot show you the output, but I will show you the sample output which I have. But how to configure it, that I'm going to show you in this session. Okay, we don't need to enable any feature for this. You need to go to warehouse management. Yes, you must be wondering that we are going to warehouse management, so it would be the SCM thing. But the setup is given like that, but it's not the only the SCM thing. It is also used. It can be used for the finance on fixed asset as well, or during shipment if you want to print up customized shipment labels, that can also be printed. Okay, now first you need to go to warehouse management parameters, go to reports. Here, there is one option given, custom labels. You need to enable it on all the forms. Okay, by default it is never. You need to change it to on all the forms. Okay, once that is done, the second thing is where you want to enable that custom print. Okay, so that is there is one option given, and that will be enabled only when you will change this parameter to on all form. So this is a label layout data source. I'll go here. I will click new. Let's say I want to print something for vendor. I will take custom label here, and I will select the table. So if you don't know what is the table, you can go to the vendor master and right click and see the data source. So after going on the form, but in this case, I know what will be the table. Okay, so I've clicked here vend table. Let me save this record. Now you need to design how your print should look like. So you need to go to label layout, the warehouse management setup, and you will go to the custom label here. So for fixed asset, I have for testing, I have already created for the fixed asset. Now let me create it for the accounts payable as well, vendor master. Select the layout which I have created. Once I've selected the layout, what will happen that in the vendor table, all the records will be appearing here. So I can select any of the record, and whatever I want to include in the label printing I can include. And there is a language which is called ZPL language. You can also use to configure the barcodes or QR codes to be there. But I'm not having such expertise, so I will show you the simple process. Okay, so first we will take account number. Uh, uh, it will take some time in searching the records. There are many records in the vendor table. So let's say I want to take vendor group. No, it's not a vendor group. That's something else. Where did the name? Yeah, let's set the vendor bank account number as well. Okay, I'll save this record. Now let's go to the vendor master. So in the option tab, which is mostly everything is common for all the forms, there is a option available now, custom labels. So you can go to the print vendors here, and you can select the layout, and you can also select the printer. Since I don't have any printer, I can't show you how it will be printing it. But yeah, I have some sample also. So you can see this. This is how you can print the labels and attach to, maybe you want to attach to your fixer set from which you are, which vendor you are buying the fixer set. So you want to put a label on it. So it can be useful for that. Okay, and shipment, in shipment also, on the shipment box also, you can definitely print a label and put it there. Okay, so this is the second functionality I have explained, the custom label printing. Now let's move on to the third functionality. Yeah, so in version 32, we have received this subscription billing integration with project accounting, and this is the from 6-7 months we were hearing this. It is a must requirement to have, because the project accounting and the subscription billing is like types of revenue are there that which is requiring the subscription billing to be used, but they are being taken care through project accounting. But project accounting do not cater their needs of the special billing types. Okay, so to have this, you need to enable one feature. Let me show you the feature. So this is a new feature, billing schedule with projects. This you need to enable to have an integration of project module and subscription billing module. Of course, I won't be going into detail of the project part and the subscription part, because it will take a lot of time if I go into that detail. Okay, so I have a created project. I will create an invoice on that project through a subscription schedule. Okay, let me go to project management module. Let's select the project. So on the manage tab, you will find a new menu item called subscription billing after enabling that feature. And in related information also, you can see the subscription billing. Okay, so once you click on the subscription billing, you need to create a billing schedule. Billing schedule group will be coming from the parameter of the subscription billing module, and it is by default it will be coming. You can also change that billing schedule group. It contains some default parameters which are there on the billing schedule lines. Okay, so basically the customer account, it is coming from the funding source of this project, and the funding source itself also coming, and the project associated with this. We need to enter the billing start date. Let's say I'm entering 1st February here, and the number of periods is 3 months. Automatically billing end date will be computed. You need to press OK. So your billing schedule is created now, and you can see on the screen, this is the billing schedule. All the options are available here. I'm not going to explain you the options, but yeah, I will show you the project part. So this project part is now available on the screen, and it is added after the enabling that feature. So you can see the project ID, project name, contract ID, and the funding source available. Now I will add one billing schedule line here. Select the item. So on the item, project category must be filled in, otherwise you won't be able to enter anything here. Okay, so let's select the pricing method. We are currently taking flat pricing method, and let's take $100 here. Okay, so one thing is there is no deferral functionality till now. Like deferral, you cannot have automatic deferral enabled using the project module. We may get this in future from Microsoft, but that is not there. Okay. Now in view billing detail, you can see three as per the periods lines are created, and you can bill them one by one at the end of each period. Okay, now we will generate one invoice. Let's select the invoice date and due date. Okay, now earlier we don't have option of creating the project invoice proposal, but with this functionality we will be able to create a project invoice proposal. You need to select the second option, create invoice proposal page. Then you will view the billing schedule. You can see the line is coming, and after this you will generate. So once that is done, your invoice proposal is now created. You can go to view billing details, and you can see the invoice proposal number and the sale order number associated with the invoice proposal. Okay, now you can click on the invoice proposal. This is your invoice proposal, and you can post that invoice. So this is how the integration between subscription billing and project module has come. We are expecting a lot more things to be available, but currently we have this kind of integration only. Other things are not there, like deferral schedule cannot be created automatically. So we may get that in future from Microsoft. Okay. Now moving ahead on the fourth topic, which is bank transaction summary. Okay, so there is a feature of summarizing the bank transaction. Now let me give you a little bit background. What happened is many industry is using who is using the Dynamics. They are using host to host payment options. Okay, now in host to host payment option, on the journal you create many you are paying simultaneously to many vendors with a similar bank account, and a particular file is created, and that file goes to bank portal, and then the payment is generated. So what happen is that payment many of the times in the bank statement, that payment line is there is only one line for that payment for whole journal, even you are paying to a number of vendors. And when you are seeing your bank statement in the Dynamics 365, you must be seeing many lines there. And to reconcile that, even through the advanced reconciliation or the standard reconciliation, it is a troublesome task seeing multiple line in the Dynamics and only single line in your bank account. You need to consolidate the amount and then match it with the bank statement. Okay, so to cater that requirement, Microsoft has bring one functionality. Let me show you how it will be enabled. So this is a feature, ability to post detailed vendor and customer payment, but size amount to the bank account. Okay, I will show you the quick demo and prerequisite setup to be done before doing this, working with this functionality. Let me go to cash and bank module. On the parameter form, we need to create a number sequence and attach here on the bank transaction summary. What is the use of this? I will show you on the bank transaction summary item. Okay, then let's go to AP module and let's go to vendor payment journal. Let me create one journal. So on the journal name of type daily, a vendor disbursement and customer payment, there are three types of journal type on which this functionality is enabled. So there is an option available now, summarize amount in the bank account. You need to enable that, and then you need to select a criteria. Now what does that criteria means? So default criteria means when your method of payment in the journal line and the bank account, if it is same, then in such case it will consolidate that transaction as a one transaction and it will be showing you in your bank transaction form. Okay, if your criteria is default criteria with document number, so method of payment, bank account and document number will be checked to consolidate and group that transactions, and if with payment reference, the payment reference will be added. Okay, so currently I've taken default criteria, that means method of payment and bank account will be consolidated if they are same. Now let me go to the lines. Let me select the vendor account. $100. So you can see the method of payment is RTGS and the bank offset account is USMF operations. I am selecting another vendor and different amount here. So the journal is ready. Now what will happen when I post this entry? Normally in normal circumstances, there will be 3 lines on the bank transaction. Okay, not one line. But with this feature, what will happen? I'll post this and then show you. Okay, this journal is posted now. Let's go to the bank transaction. Yeah, so you can see on the voucher number, there is a asterisk sign. That means there are multiple vouchers in this line. And you can see total amount is $600, which is the total of all 3 lines which we have created. And there is a bank transaction ID created against that, for which we have input the number sequence. So basically on all 3 lines, the same bank transaction ID will be created and linked to the that lines. Okay, now if user want to check this in this consolidate line, what are the vendors involved? So they can go and view the summarized details. So you can see this is the summarized details. See the voucher number and the amount here. If you want to see in detail, then you can go to transaction or voucher and see there. Okay, so now what will happen if transactions are coming like this? Now if you go to the account reconciliation, and let me delete that and create new one. So here also I'll just sort it out with a date. Here also you will be seeing $600 and you won't be seeing the ungrouped version of it, and it will be easier to reconcile with the bank statement, because your bank statement would be having the single line with $600 as well. You can also see the summarized transaction from the menu item given here. So that was the feature which Microsoft has introduced, and it is very useful where the reconciliations and the payment is of such type where multiple vendors are payment with a host to host payment methods. Okay, so moving next, the last topic of the day. Okay, is vendor bank account modification. Yeah, so this vendor bank account modification is very useful, and in the same way, I will be saying that when you are using the host to host payment option for the client and for the users, then in such case, it is very important that the vendor bank account is correct and accurate, and the data cannot be like you cannot anyone can go and change the data bank account number, IFSC code, or SWIFT code, IBAN number. These fields are very like it should be accurate when you are using the host to host payment option. So for to cater that, Microsoft has introduced vendor bank account modification in version 32 or 33. I don't remember exact version, but yeah, in either of the version it was available. Now let's see how it works in Dynamics. Well, to enable that, there is a feature available. Vendor bank account change proposal workflow, you need to enable that. Okay, so the idea is there are certain fields on which we will apply it whenever that fields are updated or created, then at that time a workflow will be triggered, and that needs to be approved and saved. And if anyone is changing deliberately, like there can be a fraud also in the company where maybe on the vendor account some employee is going and updating their payment records. Okay, so in such case, there will be a workflow enabled, and automatically the notification can be triggered to the senior authorities. Okay, so we need to enable this. Then we need to go to workflow option, and there is a workflow. This is a basically the name is little bit misleading, but yeah, workflow approval for proposed vendor change, but this is for vendor bank account change. Okay. So currently I have configured it as the self approval only. And in payment parameters, account payable parameters, you can see here vendor bank account approval fast tab is given. Here option is there whether you want bank account approval on the create option or on the update option. You can also disable it on create option. Maybe you can only keep it on update option as well. And also you can also select the data entity behavior. So if someone is uploading multiple vendors through the data entity, so in that case, how system should behave? It should allow without any approvals, it should reject, or it should add it, but in the draft status. So what will happen? You need to first approve that, then only that bank can be used. So that kind of behavior you can also set up. And now the field is given on which field you want to enable this workflow. So for bank account number, routing number, SWIFT code, on these field I have entered it. Okay, now let's see in action. Select a vendor. Let's go to the bank account. Okay, so there is one bank account that we will create one more bank account. Let's select the bank group, account number. Now you can see if I zoom in a little on the bank account number, now it's showing requires approval. So on whatever field we will take, the require approval will be shown here. SWIFT code, or you can enter IBAN as well. Now let me save the record, and you can see the review status is added here, which is currently draft. Now I will submit it. Now wait, before submitting, let me show you. You can also select the default bank account. So over there, only primary bank account is showing, not the one we are creating. Okay. So until it is in approved status, you cannot use that bank account. submitted the. Now everything will happen like a usual workflow. You need to submit it and approve it. Let's wait for till the time it's get approved. Yeah, now it's approved. Okay, now you can use as in default bank account and also on the vendor payment journal. So this is the vendor modification functionality. I hope you like the session. This was the last topic of the day, which Ramit and I have introduced to you. Is there any question answers if there is on the functionalities?
Yeah, we have the floor open for question and answers. Yeah, I think Pawan, you have a question. Please unmute yourself and ask the
Hi.
question.
Hi, my name is Pawan. I'm from India. Ajit, my question is to you. Like with respect to the custom labels printing, we can use ZPL printer, right?
Right, right.
Or
Even virtually also you can do that, but the issue with us was it was a trial environment, so we don't have a tenant, so we cannot configure that and show.
okay. That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Pawan. Ahmed has some question. Yes, Ahmed, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thank you, Venkat. So, Ramit, I have a question with regards to the financial tax. So, when you have explained the financial tax, it's an extension like financial dimension, you said. So, we have already a financial dimension. Why do we need such extension? So, when it comes to financial dimension, it has some ultimate controls with which can be linked to account structure and kind of things. Whereas financial tax looks like doesn't have any control, where we don't have any combinations or set to control it. So why it do we at what all the case we may use it?
Yeah, that's a very good question and important question. When see, I will give a use case for this scenario. Suppose in Tally or in another version of ERP, some user is using their reporting like with like employee number, vehicle number in the transaction, so that at the period end and the month end they can get a MIS report with those taggings. However, if they ask you what or ask us what, we will say that it is only possible either you create some ledger different ledger accounts or different dimensions so that you can track this. Otherwise, you have to say write something in the description. That is not a advisable or controllable things. And at the same time, if we create those as a dimension, our performance gets affected. We cannot have more than 20, 30 dimensions in system. It will impact our reporting. Some SSRS report has some limitation that it will not get generated with having some more loops in the report. That is the reason Microsoft has given to have a tag in the transaction, so that you can have a tag. It is optional. If you want to tag it, you can tag it. And at the month end, you can generate a report with those taggings. What are the values? They can do some MIS reporting. So that is a additional thing apart from the dimension they have given.
Got it, Ramit. Just I have another quick question. So when we use as we are in a practice of using financial dimension for very long time, I have another question like it's the financial tag. We are setting it one tag for one line, whereas the journal have two sets. One is account and offset. So if we want to give a different sets, how we want to give? Why? Because as per
Yeah.
the accounting standard, it needs to be balanced. So we may not have every time we may not require the same financial tax for both the sides. So in that case, how do we manage?
Yeah, so for that as well, financial tag is available in main account and offset account as well in the financial tag. So you can have different tags in both main account and offset account. So since Microsoft not only have given you to tag one time, you can also change the tag in the offset as well. So that possibility we have the new feature. And to add on it, this financial tag is very new. Microsoft is taking the feedback from people like you know what is the problem here. You can, if you have any issues, you can give this feedback to the Microsoft team as well, so that it can be improved as well. Like I have given a feedback like this financial tag is very much good thing to have a system, but if we don't have any standard report with this financial tag, then what is the use? I can only extract the voucher dump and ledger dump. I can do some MIS reporting, but at the ultimately there are some standard reports like ledger transaction report, like management reporter, that does not have this functionality. So we are giving the feedback to the Microsoft team, and they are also listening to us.
Actually, there is a
Okay,
website
thank
called, just to add, there is a website called Ideas, where you can submit your idea, and if it picks the enough votes, then Microsoft team really feels that it is important, then they will develop it as well.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Venkatesh. If you can share that thing in our group, it would be
Yeah, I'll do
helpful. Yeah,
I'll do
thank you.
that. Yeah. John, you have some
That
question.
that's all
You
from my end.
unmute yourself.
Yes. Yeah. My questions to Archit regarding bank summary report, where reconciliation, advanced reconciliation. I have a scenario. My client is receiving the payments through Paytm like scanner. Okay, but whenever we are reconciliation, advanced reconciliation, is that feature is enough, or we need we need to enable or something? Because this is my requirement, new personal requirement. But I thought this is the feature if it is working or not.
So when you are receiving the payment through the UPI apps like Paytm or whatever their
Yeah.
apps are in India, so at that time multiple transactions would have been created in your bank account also, or is it a single bank account transaction which is created?
No, single transaction. Why? Because
Okay, so
we
you transfer it from wallet, right?
correct.
Later on. Okay, so yeah, so you can use this functionality in that case also, because there will be only one transaction. But when you are actually creating a journal, you may be selecting multiple customers and posting that journal. Okay, so you can use this functionality on the multiple journals. That same transaction ID will be there. You need to
Yeah,
actually make the setups as such that you can use that.
okay. So
Definitely, this
my
is the possibility.
yeah. So how the system will be auto reconcile the bank statement MT940 statement, which is my customer is using.
Yeah, so that you need to set up the matching rules for that, right? So on the basis of
Mhm.
amount also, because the transaction in the account reconciliation is showing as one in the feature I have told you. Okay, and that will be a consolidated amount which will be matched to the consolidated amount in the bank statement. Okay, so on the basis of
Banks.
amount
Okay, okay.
you can
Carry
match.
on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So see, last question. Okay, so whenever we're receiving the payment through bank statement, there is only one transaction in my bank passbook in internet statement. But
Correct.
whenever I am posting the transaction in D365, there is only one transaction which is actually deducted from my bank.
So you are not creating multiple transaction for like customer wise transaction.
A customer wise in D365 only one, but in a bank statement we are receiving lot of, right?
Yeah, that's what I was asking you earlier, that are you having multiple transaction in your bank account? No, then
No, no.
in such
Uh,
case, you cannot use this, because see, this functionality consolidate the transaction in dynamics level. Okay, to compare it with the bank statement.
okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vijay, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, Venkatesh. Thanks, Venkatesh. My question is to Archit regarding subscription billing module. Actually, we came to know that we can defer the approvals through subscription billing module. Similarly, I would like to know whether we can defer the revenue and as well as the cost of goods sold through subscription billing module.
Yeah,
Just wanted to
definitely.
know.
That is available, Vijay. Thanks for the
Mhm.
question. That is available. You can COGS and your revenue also that can be deferred. Either
Mhm.
you are using free text invoices or sales order, that is available there. But you need to do the
Okay.
setup as such.
Okay. Additionally, there is one more quick question is there, Archit? Can I go ahead with it?
Yeah.
Can we use this subscription billing model for any prepayment from the customers? Like, can we use for any prepayment received from the customer end?
No,
Is there any option
so
available?
no, Vijay. So prepayment is a separate thing. Like when you are creating sales order, there is earlier there was an option of prepayment. Now there is not. But that is a payment
Yes.
thing. You cannot use that in the deferral or billing schedules.
Mhm. Okay. Got it. Understood. Archit. Thanks for your answer.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thanks everyone for your time and taking it out for over the weekend and attending the session and making it successful. We have a very good number of audience today, and I really appreciate the time from Ramit, Archit, Umesh, especially and Rachit for making this session happening. And I would like to thank on behalf of each and everyone for making this session very nice. Ramit and Archit, I really appreciate your time.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone. Thank you
Venkatesh.
so much.
Thank you
And
so
you can
much.
see the
Thank you,
recording.
everyone.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
see
you.
this recording in the
Thank you.
YouTube
Thank
channel.
you.
I'll share it with the group.
Amit has
Sure.
raised his hand. Is there the question he has?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very recently, I got a recommend from my customer to get